It's the end of the day with Ray. Hello, my friends. Well, folks, if you look on that gigantic, sharp, interactive board, you're going to see a new face, and that new face is Simon Landau, and Simon Landau is with PrintFactory. PrintFactory is a digital front end, a RIP. And folks, at the end of the day, I think a lot of my industry friends, especially in that graphic space, that are running those big, giant inkjet machines, they might be looking for a new digital front end. So I wanted to bring Simon on, talk to him about his digital front end in PrintFactory. Simon, it is so great to have you on the end of the day with Ray. How are you doing, man?
I'm very good indeed, Ray. Thank you very much. Looking forward to the Christmas holidays and some well-earned R&R, but thank you very much indeed for inviting me. It's great to be here.
Well, Simon, I got to tell you, I had the opportunity to visit a massive print shop and see your software in action. It was pretty phenomenal, and the quality that was coming, the output that was coming out compared to the legacy folks was amazing, actually. Even the print shop was pretty amazed by that. But tell our audience a little bit about PrintFactory. I know you guys are headquartered in the Netherlands, but tell us a little bit of the story of PrintFactory.
Okay, yeah, it was great to have you out there, by the way, at that customer, and it was fantastic to show you what PrintFactory always promises, but most of our potential clients don't believe because some of what we say is just truly unbelievable. But it was great to have you there to see it. So let me start by giving you a little brief history of PrintFactory, because some of your viewers might not have heard of us. We're sort of the industry's best kept secret. We started actually way back in 1989, as you rightly say, out of the Netherlands. Some very clever guys left university and started their own company, which was initially a signage company producing vinyl cut lettering and so on and so forth. But they merged into the new sort of inkjet printing, the color inkjet printing devices with ink pads and HPs and so on and so forth very quickly. But they weren't impressed with the software around at the time driving those printers and cutters, so they decided to develop their own. They were programmers, some of them. So they created a software application called Signalize, which garnered a fair bit of local interest in the Benelux regions, and they started being asked for it. So they commercially started selling it and ended the sign printing company and went straight full focus into software development. And we developed software for other industry players as well. We sold our RIP engine and screening technologies to various RIP vendors. We produced tiling and layout applications for various RIP vendors and drivers for various RIP vendors and so on and so forth. And in 2011, we were bought wholly by a company called G&G, high-end device link color management company, specifically involved in offset, flexo, and gravure printing with proofing and color management in the press room. And they wanted to get their high-end device link color engine into large format in a big way. So they purchased our RIP workflow solution, PrintFactory, and rebranded it Production Suite. And a technical marriage was made in heaven. Their very high-end color management solution in a RIP solution that drove 3,500 to 4,000 printers and cutters rather than just inkjet printers, typically Epson, HP, or Canon for contract quality and packaging proofing. So that was the technical marriage. Their color scientists and our color scientists got together, and we decided that color management in large format inkjet printing was an ambiguous and painful process, very long and arduous, and took color management skill and required either color consultants on site or specially trained operators. Often those who were trained moved on to other companies and took that knowledge with them. So we wanted to make a workflow where customers could get the first print right first time, a G7 visual match on all of their printers, all of their substrates, first time, every time, and with ease, without any color management skill whatsoever, without requiring, advanced color specialists to be on site at thousands and thousands of dollars a day, so that anybody could do it. So since 2011, we have been developing that color engine and harnessing the power of device link color management over normal ICC to allow a solution that is the ideal solution. Minimum amount of ink film thickness, maximum gamut, and bang on visually matched G7 output, or indeed full gamut output in the cases of fine art, photographic reproduction, and t-shirt and garment apparel production.
And it's really you're really based in the real expertise at this point is really in this upper end graphics printing inkjet.
Yep, sorry about that.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure we were in the inkjet space, because that's what I was looking at when I was with you at the big print shop. And the other thing that you were sharing with the print shop owners, which I thought was kind of amazing, is how you're able to lower the cost of the ink without sacrificing the quality, actually giving them better quality and lowering the cost of the ink. Just explain that a little bit, because I was amazed that a digital front end could actually control the cost as much as it was controlling it.
Indeed. So, that's the unbelievable part. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So lots of the competition proffer ink saving tools that generally are additional costs to their solutions. PrintFactory's ink saver is implicit and it's built in, and it's almost unbelievable because it sounds counterintuitive. Mm-hmm. But the way that we separate output to the printers. The same printers using the same ink, the same resolution, the same pass rates, and so on and so forth, with device link, allows us to print in the optimum way. So we use the black channel as it should be used for contrast and shadow, what many people would consider GCR, great component replacement. But we use it in such a powerful way that the actual image quality, the output, the shadow, the dynamic separation from shadow to highlight, improves the image quality. It looks sharper, more contrasty. The colors are brighter. Mm-hmm. The shadows are darker than the normal ICC production, and we typically save between 15 to 25% of a customer's ink usage over and above ICC, as is proved. So we get better quality, perfect gray balance. As I said, that G7 visual match, and we save our clients a bucket ton of money on ink usage, which has other benefits as well. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's not just, obviously, digital ink is the most expensive ink in the world, and the fact that our software on a SaaS yearly license costs typically 1/4 of what we save in ink alone, mm-hmm. makes the investment in our software a no-brainer. However, there are other benefits to that, because over inking, especially in UV applications, UV ink, eco-solvent and resin-based technologies, have other benefits. It reduces the requirement for high curing rates, which again reduces power. Mm-hmm. It eliminates issues like gloss banding, over-inking issues like pass rate leakage into the causing horizontal banding and all sorts, and set off, and obviously dries the image a lot quicker, where processes that have that post curing requirement, it just has massive benefit of effect. Not least of which, if you're putting typically 20% less ink through your heads are going to last longer. Yeah. And some of these inkjet heads in the industrial machines that we drive from the big manufacturers cost a lot of money to replace. So there's big ROI on having the right color management, because typically in our industry, what is used, even if customers have bespoke profiles built internally, they're very rarely color managed. Typically, mm-hmm. most companies are using what we call CAN profiles, which are profiles that are delivered with their existing RIP solutions, and they're struggling. They're struggling to achieve color accuracy in print for machines and print equipment that cost hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars. Mm-hmm. And that shouldn't be the case, because they're having to version, they're having to edit the customer's files up front to try and satisfy clients' color expectations. And I put my banner or my stand up on my soapbox, if you will, and say, if a color guy, if a photographic nerd in his bedroom can get the perfect capture color management with very, very inexpensive color management stuff, he can get the perfect capture using his photo shoot for still life, for example. He can color manage his monitor for retouching. He can color manage his photographic printer so he gets the perfect capture to edit to output. If he can do that with minimal investment, then you should be able to do that in large format print. And we do that. We make it easy, and it saves a bucket ton of wasted media, wasted ink, and wasted press time, and has a massive return on investment. That's what we're all about. We are all about maximizing the profit of our clients in terms of every square inch of material printed, finished, and shipped out the door.
And you guys are 100% agnostic. So you work, because I know when we were at the print shop that I visited with you, we were applying the software to a lot of different machines and a lot of different brand names, and getting this, the quality and the output just from that one setting, which I thought was kind of interesting. So just to verify that for the audience, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, the Visu trademark, trademark color engine that we developed for the last 13 years has that normalizing approach. So the advanced gamut mapping technology built into that device link color engine has the effect of normalizing the output. So if you had a G7 contract quality proof to match for your customers' color expectations, for example, which happens a lot, you get exactly the same visually based output, gamma and reflectance notwithstanding, on all the substrates, on all the different printers that you print to, whether they're from different manufacturers, whether they're using different ink properties, from UV to UV gel to resin-based technology, or latex as it's known in HP circles, to eco-solvent or water-based printers, on a wide range of different substrates, and dye sublimation as well on hard materials like Chromolux or fabric. It just has a normalizing approach, and you can build the profiles at the same time on all those different printers, making the profiling process super easy, super fast, and super quick. And in this day and age, customers deserve that, and the realization of the profit margins and the waste reduction of all that substrate going into the hopper is massive. It really, really is. It cannot be understated, the effect that game-changing software like PrintFactory has on the customers that and the clients that we have. But that's not the end of the story, because PrintFactory is platform agnostic. So we we develop natively for Mac, we develop natively for Windows. We can also supply the RIP engine only on a Linux platform. We're the only a workflow solution that supports natively all three operating systems in our space. We have the privilege of having more printer and cutter drivers than any other large format RIP workflow solution. So we address all printer manufacturers from the biggest 5-meter wide roll-to-roll, or even 7.6-meter wide Chinese roll-to-roll machines, right down to DTF and DTG and T-shirt printers that go down to sort of 17-inch wide. So we address all those markets, including industrial ceramic tile printing, industrial carpet printing, industrial laminate printing, all with Inkjet technology, and we provide exactly the same workflow for all of them, and the same normalized color. But we also include game-changing and massive time-saving front-end workflow tools that address bottlenecks in pre-press and provide, walk the walk workflow automation tools as well for pre-press automation that are easy to access. That's the key thing. Everyone can say they support JDF, XML, they have an API. But the implementation of that often results in very expensive consultancy and the non-ability for most companies to access that in-house. PrintFactory has worked tirelessly as well over the years to provide a solution that enables mid-range companies as well as the high-end companies that have their own in-house programmers and scripting experts to leverage automation in a way that is just simplified, easy, but super powerful, and that stands to the company ethos of maximizing every square inch of profit from printed and finished output. It's what it's all about. It's a numbers game, printing.
Yep.
The more profit you can make, the more money you can make with the least amount of waste and overhead, is what it's all about. It's just a numbers game, and we address those problems rather than just selling a RIP with and adding features. and trying to leverage ongoing support and upgrades. We are all about providing solutions to customers' issues, bottlenecks, production problems. That's what print. And whenever anybody sees and has demonstration of our solutions, that's what they see. The comment is generally, "My God, somebody's really thought about this, haven't they?" And that's what they see. It is literally, it's not over-egging the statement to say that it's game-changing, light years ahead software.
Well, it was easy to install. The print shop was amazed by that, and the fact that it was going to all their different machines was, in a very short period of time, was pretty interesting to me. So I got to ask you a question. So Are we going to see PrintFactory do anything regarding a digital front end for the laser, high-end production laser print machines?
How did I know you were going to ask that?
I just got to ask the question.
What I can say is this. Post our conversations recently, Ray, I have had some very interesting chats with the powers that be in my organization. And what I will say is watch this space.
Okay. Yeah, I would say. And just to let everybody know, Simon runs North America for PrintFactory. So he's here in the States calling on, these massive industrial inkjet print shops, if you will. And industrial inkjet technology is a big growth. So don't be confused. I'm not talking about documents. I'm talking about inkjet industrial technology. And the stuff that this print shop was printing on was totally amazing. I mean, you're printing on 4x8 sheets of wood to huge coroplast, all kinds of stuff. Really interesting stuff. So, Simon, is there anything you want to add before we end this? And it was great having you on. We'll have you on again. But we need some alternatives in our space. That's for sure.
Absolutely, and we recognise that as well. I mean, we have focused on large format inkjet solutions. Honest, that's where we come from. But honestly, the small format space, we have experts in pagination and all the technical requirements to service the small format space as well. So as I said, watch this space. No promises, no ETA, but we do recognise the potential for a new player in that market as well.
Well, I'll keep putting pressure on you because, Simon, everybody watching me knows this status quo is the killer of all of the invented. Don't get stuck there, and I'll see you all tomorrow.